What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we've got the upgrade preview for the update coming out on August 20th. Now I know this video is releasing overnight August 19th into August 20th, and I apologize that there's not a ton of time. Things just got backed up. I was gonna skip it, but I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna skip it. People can still get in on some of the investments in the morning, and at the very least we've got these names out here for the folks that don't get upgraded. We can then invest in them going forward. I still owe you guys some more videos about who to invest in more long term. My weeks have been crazy busy though, so I apologize for that. If you do watch my streams, twitch.tv/spore, you've been getting names left and right, and there's usually 2x, if not more, as many names on my list for my Twitch subscribers that include plenty of guys to be investing in, for the long term too. Long term meaning 2 weeks down the road, because everything's so quick right now. Now, I will say, I have some new golds. They're pretty obvious. A lot of the golds that I think are going to get upgraded are pretty obvious, and one of the reasons that I dragged my feet a little bit on getting this video, or at least didn't maneuver things around, because I didn't really drag my feet. It's not like I sat here and said, you know what, I'm not going to do the video. But one of the reasons that I didn't kind of finagle my schedule around to make sure that the video was up was that the silver to golds are pretty obvious this week. Everyone's kind of already in on them. The market was already pretty tapped out on Monday and Tuesday. That's why I owe you something for the future so that you guys can invest for next week and beyond. But let's just go ahead and get into it. I've got a handful of names here. We got Mike Trout once again going up. I got him going up 2 points to a 97. He deserves it. He should be getting better. Now, there is the MVP one that's out there, but if you don't have that yet, you happen to have live series, you deserve a better iteration. Bryce Harper is the next guy who could be an interesting investment opportunity, because he's currently an 87, as you can see here. I've got him going up 2 points. He could go up 3. If he gets into that 90 threshold, we've seen it with Betts and with Judge, that they then spike in price. It's a short-lived spike. You have to jump quickly, but you can make some bank. Betts, I mean, you could still be making bank on Betts right now if you invested in him at the 5,000-6,000 stub range. However, when he first went up, I sold mine for like 40K, and I bought him for 5,500. So keep that in mind. Maybe put a couple Bryce Harpers away. If he goes to 89 this week, again, even better opportunity to put a few away. Nothing crazy, just 3, 4, 5. And then when he does go over 90 and if he continues to perform like this, he'll spike, you cash in. Fernando Tatis really seems like at this point he's going to end the season up over 90. I got him going up just 2 points to 87, but the way he's been on fire, sorry, I got something on my glasses, I got to take it off. The way he's been on fire makes it seem like he's going to go all the way up by the end of the year into the 90s. I will say, major kudos to SDS for what they did with that face of the franchise 48-hour upgrade to 99. Brilliant work there. The entire community loved it. I think you guys did brilliant work with that. And for us investors, it created an excellent opportunity to make a ton of stubs, because the NL West prices went through the roof. The Padres went through the roof because people were doing the team collection. And the other guys, the Diamondbacks, Rockies, Dodgers, Giants, and then the Mariners, the Padres team affinity counterpart, all went up because people were doing affinity exchanges. So there were stubs to be made. You can see my bankroll is way up, and it's a big part because of that Tatis thing. So thank you so much, SDS. Loved it. I've also got Juan Soto moving up a little bit. He's in an 85 right now. Where is he? I've got him going to 86, 87. I mean, he's just killing it. So there's 4 diamonds right now that are going up. Harper, Tatis are probably the 2 right now that have the best chance to push into that 90 threshold, create that artificial bump. Don't sleep on Bieber and Story as well. They're also killing it at this point, and they could jump up and again get that spike the way Judge and Betts did, and you could cash in. Now, a couple new diamonds that I have for you guys this week. One is, where is he? Aaron Nola. And as you can see, the market, again, already pretty keen on this. I had him for you guys last week, though. So hopefully if you're watching these videos and investing, you're already in on Aaron Nola. I had him going 81 to 84 last week. That was the time to get in, because now another great outing. He's already set to go diamond. Now, one that my chat, I got to give big credit to my chat that they put me onto this guy to keep a closer eye on him, was Whit Merrifield. And one of the things that he was doing that really made it an interesting guy to watch was the power that he's been hitting for. You see, he's 52-59, but he's starting to hit some homers. I think he has maybe 5 this year. I'm going to go ahead and check while we're talking. But look at everything else is kind of already strong for him. He's got contact. He's got some decent defense, some decent speed. So all that's already in order. But when you start hitting some homers, he's got 5 homers already on the year, a 510 slug, and a 208 ISO. Those need to get upped. He's only 1 point away. It's time for Whit Merrifield to go diamond. I've got some guys on the 84 cusp, and if I'm putting them at 84, that means they have a great chance to still go diamond. I happen to only move them up to 84, but I could easily be wrong, and if I'm wrong on the low end, that's big business for us. First is Kenley Janssen. He's been a long-term diamond for sure. We've seen him be diamond for years. It's almost kind of weird to see him as a gold, but he struggled a little bit last year, so he came in this year as a gold. He looks like he's back to being himself. I got him 83 to 84. But as aggressive as they're being, and the fact that he has history, I could totally see them going ahead and just moving him up the 2 points. In fact, I probably should have put that in my upgrade list now that I'm looking at his metrics here. He has 3.5 hits per 9. That's fantastic. But either way, hopefully you're invested in him a little bit. There's still a little bit of opportunity. If you're watching this on Thursday morning, you can get in the 3,600 range. Even if he doesn't go this week, you hang on. He doesn't look like he's going to let up, and he should have diamond relatively soon, if it's not today. Another one that I love what he's doing. This was one of my favorite picks in fantasy this year too, is, where is Mr. Yu Darvish? I'm just going to do this. It just makes life easier on me to do it like this. There's Yu Darvish. Again, the market's already pretty keen on him here at 4,000/3668. I got him up to 84. If he only goes 84, his price will tank, and then you jump in. But this BB9 needs to continue to go up. This is dating back to last year now, where he's not walking anybody, and it's a complete skill change from what we are used to seeing from Darvish. So I think the BB9 and the control need to jump up, and that could get him to diamond as soon as this week, if not very soon. And then also I have the teammate of Kenley Janssen, and that's Justin Turner. Now with Turner and Janssen, if you were in on that Tatis thing, you could have sold your shares already. I don't have any extra Turners right now, and you're like, well, why are you recommending him as an investment if you don't have any? I sold all mine for high 4,000s. In fact, a couple were over 5,000 for a brief moment there because of everything that was going wild with that Tatis. So that's why you're not going to see me with any shares. It's not that I don't believe in the investment. It's that I was able to sell mine, take that profit, and already lock it in. Now, I will say this. If he doesn't get it, if he goes to 84, price goes even lower, I'm going to jump back in because I do believe in Turner long-term as a diamond. Long-term again, this year meaning a week, 2 weeks out, because you can't really go that far. I mean, long-term during the standard season is like 3 to 4 weeks. The season's almost done by then. He hasn't hit for a lot of power this year, but he is hitting 287, 370, 436. And he's just a really strong hitter, so he's right there on that diamond cusp. Next up, we've got some guys going to 83, and I almost said we're staying in the NL West because the guy I'm going to say second, you're going to be like, oh yeah, you forgot he moved teams. But first things first, Dinelson Lumet, and I've already taken my L on him, folks. I was wrong. I was not in on Dinelson Lumet this year. I just didn't think that his 2-pitch mix was really going to work. They show him with a curveball and a slider. It's really one pitch. He has one big breaking ball, and then everything else is kind of meh. Even his fastball is kind of meh. He's really like a one big pitch type of guy, and then the rest is kind of not too much beyond that. And he doesn't really have a true third pitch. But again, I don't want to sit here and crap on him and pretend that I should say all these negative things, because point is, I was wrong. He has been excellent. Yeah, he throws his fastball 48%, his slider 51%, and that only leaves a 0.5% for his changeup, which they don't even give him, as they shouldn't. But I like when they do this with the curve and the slider, and they break it up into 2 pitches, because that gives us a way to work with him, because his breaking ball is so diverse. We see this with Corey Kluber. That's why he has like a slurve, a cutter, and a curve, sort of, the way he works in real life when he's cooking. But anyway, he's been awesome. He's getting out lefties, something he's never really done before. He's not walking guys. His strikeout rate remains excellent, and he's giving up 4.8 hits per 9. I got him going up to an 83 right now. He's going to be on that diamond cusp if he continues to pitch like this. The other guy who I almost said was in the NL West still is Hyun-Jin Ryu. Hyun-Jin Ryu's getting back on track. Remember, he started off a little wobbly in his first 2 starts. I'm sure Toronto fans are like, this is what we paid for. But that's why you got to be patient. You can't judge guys off of 2 starts. He's been excellent since then, looking like the guy that was pitching for the Dodgers the last few years and the guy that they paid that big contract to. He's now down to a 3.46 ERA and a 1.12 WHIP. His hit rate is better than ever at 6.9. Which is nice, and a 26% strikeout rate is up from last year's mark. The walk rate's up a bit too, though. It's at 9%, but we'll take the trade-off there. So they might move the BB9 down a little bit, but the hit and K9 should definitely go up. That would make his card more playable too. As much as I want guys who have control and can hit their spots a bit, I'd actually rather have the big hit and K9 to sacrifice a little bit of that BB9. By the way, didn't walk anybody in his last start, after walking 2, 3, 1, and 3 in his first 4. If he goes a few starts here where he walks 1 or 0, then they'll either move the BB9 back up if they move it down today, or they'll just leave it where it's at if they give him that leeway this week to say, hey, we're not going to move it down, but we're keeping a close eye on you. So we'll see how they handle that. Next up, I've got, oh man, this is bittersweet, y'all, in a lot of different ways. I got Bo Bichette, who just went gold. I got him going up to an 82. I might have undersold it, by the way. He could go 83, 84. The problem is, that's probably where it ends right now because he's injured and he's going to be out until mid-September, which is really devastating because he's one of the brightest young players in the game, having a brilliant season. However, there is a silver lining. Our boy Fuzzy was able to reveal the Topps Now cards that we're getting on Thursday, and he showed that we're getting a Bo Bichette Diamond Topps Now card, and we're going to get to pick 3 of the Topps Now that he released. Bo Bichette will be on my team as a diamond, but he should also get a little bit of a boost here. I got him to 82. He could go 82, 83. Now, for the new golds, again, there's not a lot of investment opportunity in them now, but you should have already had them if you've been watching the shows. Brandon Lau. I believe Brandon Lau was on my initial list all the way back when the season started, and I said, here's the guys that we're looking at. Because I love Brandon Lau. I've been investing in him in fantasy, in MLB The Show. I'm ready to go. Give me my 21,000 stubs here. Actually, I'll probably keep one. So give me my 20K. This includes selling off another 12 that I had that I've taken profit on just because this was before he hit like his last 2 homers. His price was already high. I was just collecting profit just in case, because you can never go wrong taking profit. But then it became obvious that he's going to go gold. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to hold these last 20 and get my guaranteed 20K. I got him going to an 81, by the way. I got him bypassing the standard 80. Next up, you guys know. Come on. This is one of my favorite picks all year. If you listen to my podcast, I have not shut the hell up about Luke Voight since last October, for crying out loud. So I'm super geeked about this one, y'all. He's got to go 80. I've been having him on the upgrade list. How many times? Let's see. Let's just take a list. Look, because I've got them all here. First update. Did I have Luke Voight on there? I did not. Second update. Hang on. Second update, had him on there. Third update, had him on there. Fourth update, got him on there. So I've been on this Luke Voight train for a whole ass minute. Y'all already know it's time, and I think it's a stone cold lock. I think he and Brandon Lau, there's just no way they don't get it. I'll be stunned beyond belief. I haven't even sold mine because I want my full 59K here, and I might just be silly tomorrow and get a bunch at 900 just to get a few extra 100. No, I'm not gonna do that, but I'm so excited. He's killing it. He has 9 homers. He deserves it. The only downside, he's a BR god, and we're gonna lose our silver BR god. That said, I'm going to fuck around and take him as a gold. I don't care. I'll take him as a gold, dude. There's not that many great golds out there that I would have to bypass Voight for them. No way. But I did love getting him as a silver. That's always the downside of your guys getting upgraded. Next up, Pardon me, let me get to my other sheet here. We had this guy on the list last week to get upgraded, and I think I said silver. I still had him going. Oh no, I did have him going 76 to 80. But I was thinking, worst case is he's going to at least go up to 78, 79. And they didn't even touch Zach Gallen. And I was like, okay, y'all did me kind of dirty, SDS. I love y'all to death. I usually see eye to eye with you guys on upgrades left and right. But that one y'all did not come correct. However, Gallen went out and said, you know what, SDS? What if I just go out and dominate again? Then what are you going to do? Huh? Then what are you going to do? He probably didn't say that. He probably doesn't give a shit about MLB this show, but he should. It's a great game. I really do enjoy it. But no, he went out through 7 more excellent innings against Oakland, best team in the league right now. 3 hits, 1 run. It was a homer, I believe, to Robbie Grossman. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. He walked 5 in his debut outing against the Padres. He's walked 3 in 4 starts since then. He has 36 strikeouts in 30 innings. The reason I think this is a stone cold lock too is because he's been pitching like this since last year. This isn't an out of nowhere performance. This is continuing what he's already done. So I think Zach Gallen has to get the 4 points and go to 80. Another guy I've been on for a whole ass minute. By the way, with Gallen, if you're watching this on Thursday morning, there's still some investment opportunity because I think he's stone cold. Like I don't see how he's not going. I'll even take these. I'll even take the couple hundred stubs here because I just don't even see it. I just don't see how he wouldn't go. I'll even buy a couple at 720. I don't care. Give him my 2 something. I don't care because he's going gold. Cut to a shot of him not going gold and then cue the fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm meme. Next up, Max Fried, another guy that if you listen to my pod, you hear anything or read my writing in fantasy, you know I have not shut the hell up about him. Love him. It's time. He's going. And now this one was one I did get turned on to Max Fried last year when he added this new slider. I was always kind of like, he's fine. I didn't have like a huge affinity for him. I thought he was fine. But he tuned up last year with this new slider. I meant to say turned up, and then I was gonna say he tuned his arsenal, and then I went with tuned up because I'm an idiot. But no, he tuned up his arsenal, and showed up with this new slider, and it really helped him. Now you see a 4.02 ERA last year, and you're like, did it really help him that much? He had a little bit of a BABIP issue, without a doubt. And BABIP, some people use it as a luckometer, where they just say if you have a high BABIP, you are unlucky. That's not how it works. There are times when that's the case, but it's not just a luckometer. You contribute to your BABIP, and I think some of the stuff that he was doing, namely when he was like a 2-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, some of it was on him. Well, this year he's really fully gotten used to the slider, fully incorporated it. It's a 24% pitch. That's up from 16% last year, and he's taken off to the next level. He's got a 1.24 ERA and a .90 WHIP. Now, a 1.24 ERA, don't forget, ERA doesn't matter for the card, but it shows us that he's been killing it. Please, SDS, can I get a stamina boost for my guy so I can use him in BR? Please? 5.3 hits, 25% strikeouts, 8% walks. Max Fried, I almost said Zach Gallen. Max Fried, gotta go to 80. Now here's a group of 79s, and you know that when I got them at 79, they could easily go gold. If they don't go gold, these are your next week guys to get in. And we're gonna stay on this team real quick and talk about Dansby Swanson. He was having a breakout season last year before an injury struck and completely derailed him. And it was like, if you didn't pay attention to that, if you didn't see what he did before that injury, you might not have known that he was having a breakout. I was one of those people. I learned later that he was having a breakout when I was doing off-season study. So he was kind of on my radar this year, but there's a million good shortstops, so it was hard to really invest in him too much. But I ended up getting him in a couple leagues, and more importantly, I said, you know what? I'm going to get some MLB The Show shares, because if he does have that breakout again, he can move from silver to gold. He's got a 303 average, 343 on base, 465 slug, 3 homers, 3 steals. The only downside right now is that he's striking out quite a bit, 29%, and he's not really walking. But part of that is an aggressive approach where he's swinging more at the pitches he knows he can hit. Now, that is leading to more strikeouts, but he's tapping into more pop. So it's a trade-off that we're willing to have. I will say, for him to have long-term success, he does need to balance that back out, get closer to his 23% strikeout rate, but I really like what he's doing here. One question I have, why is his fielding so mediocre? 65 seems very low. I'm looking at him, and 2018, 10 defensive runs saved. Last year, 2. This year, already 3. So that's really good, defensive runs saved. His UZR last year wasn't very good at minus 6.4, but the year before was 5.3. And I don't know which one they use between the two. There's also outs above average over at Baseball Savant, and I want to see what he's been doing. I want to see what he's been doing there, if you'll bear with me for a moment. But I think Dansby Swanson is going to get a couple point boost up to 79, and then he's going to be on the cusp where if he has another big week, they're going to finally move him to goal. I don't want to say finally, because it's not like he's been owed that. But I think that if he continues to perform like this, they're going to give him the move to gold. Let me take a drink here while we look up this outs above average. All right, so new stat over at Baseball Savant. They've had it for outfielders, but they've added it now for infielders. 2018, 4 outs above average. Last year, 2. This year they don't have it yet. I don't know what the deal is with why they don't have anything for outs above average for infielders so far this year. Bottom line is he's been an above average fielder. So I'm not saying you have to skyrocket him up to the 90s or even the 80s. But why is he not in the 70s with his defense? So that's another avenue that Dansby Swanson could get to gold by. Let's stay in the NL East and talk about my boy Brian Anderson, who I think I had as a gold last week. We didn't get it, but I'm sticking with him. I got him at I got him. Oh wait, no, I had to get corrected on this. I'm a dumbass. I had him at 79. I had him 78 to 79 on my list. My chat corrected me. I forgot to change my list. No, I actually don't have him to gold yet. He's a hold for gold, but he's not going to gold. I'm sorry. He's not quite there yet. He hasn't had a good enough week. I did have him getting to 79, but he's already there. I'm a doofus. I should edit this out, but I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna. You guys can laugh at me that way. I own my mistakes. All right, let's move on now back over to a guy I did have going gold last week. He didn't get there, but I'm sticking with Jorge Soler. And as you can see, he's really cheap right now because, he didn't get any sort of boost, and I think people are out. But I'm holding tight. He's only hitting 253, but he has a 330 on base and a 462 slug. Now that slug is down from last year, but that's because last year he was one of the best power hitters in the league. He still has 5 homers. He's still hitting very well. Now I think he goes 78, 79 right now. I don't think he goes gold yet, but he's a major hold for gold because one big week where he hits 3-4 homers is going to put him into gold. So he's one of those right now that he's not tearing the cover off the ball right this instant, but he's somebody that you hang on to, and when he has that big week, you're going to cash in because right now he can't really hurt you. If you buy a bunch in the 270 to 300 range, that's just not going to kill you. To be honest, you could kind of flip. You could kind of flip him. Yeah, I mean, you could flip him and make 200 a piece right now. So maybe that's the avenue, is that you don't even wait. You don't even wait for him to get boosted. You just flip a bunch of his shares instead of waiting for him to perform. But either way, I'm holding for gold. Obviously, I sold those 2 there, but I'm mostly holding for gold with Jorge Soler. Next up is a guy who I do think could get gold. I might have undersold him, but I have Tommy La Stella at a 79. I got him going up 1 point. This dude is showing that the power that he had last year is real. And I was believing in him coming into the year. I thought he made some changes in his profile that suggested that power had some legitimacy to it. He hit 16 homers in 80 games and then fouled the ball off his leg and broke his leg. Totally derailed his breakout season. It was such a bummer. I felt terrible for him. Well, now he has 3 homers again, a 500 slug, which is even higher than he had last year. He's showing more power. He has 7 doubles. He had 8 in 80 games last year. He already has 7 in 22 games. he's an awesome hold for gold as far as I'm concerned, and there's plenty of profit potential here because he's so cheap down at the low 400s range. And again, if you really want to work it, you see here, you could flip him. But that's up to you. Like the flipping takes a lot of patience and effort. If you don't want to do that, you invest, you wait, and then when they go gold, you can quick sell. But if you do have the time and patience to do flipping, this is a good flip card right now. I will make a quick mention about David Fletcher. This is peak 2020, by the way. The fact that if you had told me going on December 31st, 2019, you say, hey, watch David Fletcher go diamond in MLB The Show this year, I'd be like, you've had too much to drink tonight, shut the hell up. And yet here we are on the freaking doorstep to David Fletcher going diamond. I would throw a couple to the side here. I've got 4 right now. I'm probably going to get a couple more under 2,000 and just hang on because you can't really be hurt by this. Obviously quick sell is only 1,000, but if you buy a handful under 2,000 and just kind of wait and see what happens, if he hits if he has a couple homers in a certain week leading into an upgrade, he's going to go to diamond. They've been aggressive, and he already has the defense and contact through the roof, and so he doesn't need that much more power to really push into diamond. So I just want to make a quick mention about David Fletcher. I don't have him for any upgrade this week, just somebody who's interesting that you should hold. Another one that I really like as a hold for gold is Willy Adames, and he's super cheap right now. Now he's only a 76. I got him going up to 79 this week, so I think he'll go 78, 79. As you can see, I have not made my investment in him yet, but I'm going to end up with like 20, 25 of these by early next week because he's been hitting the ball very well. He's been kind of hidden. I think a lot of the attention has gone to Brandon Lau, with good reason, of course. And here he is with a couple homers, 293, 376, 507. He's killing it right now. And again, this is kind of a common theme. He's a couple homer week away from really jumping up. Now, one thing I want to check that I meant to check when I was putting my notes together was how he's doing against lefties, because you see 47-59, that's ripe for improvement. And he's hitting 364, 440, 591 against lefties. That's why he's going to get 3 points this week, and maybe even the gold. I don't think so, but let's get him to 78, 79 this week, invest heavy, have another big week, and go gold next week. All right, next up, Ian Happ. Ian Happ is definitely somebody I like, and the market agrees. As you can see, he's a 75, and yet the market already has him at 858/600. He's been killing it. I missed the opportunity to get in. I had a bunch of shares in bronze, and when he went silver, I affinitied them, so that's why I don't have any. And listen, I'm always going to be straightforward with you guys. Like Mike Yastrzemski, I totally missed out on him. I just didn't invest. I'm going to be straight with you guys when I don't invest in somebody, but just because I didn't get in on them doesn't mean that I believe less in the recommendation or anything like that. Sometimes I just missed the boat, but I'm still going to give you guys the info so that y'all can stay invested or invest yourselves. Now, here is not a lot of buying opportunities, so don't go crazy. In fact, what would work best for us is if he only goes to 78, 79 this week, people divest, price goes down, and we jump in as the late people to the party. He's hitting 313, 439, 627 with 5 homers. I think he actually hit a home run on Wednesday night too. And it might have been, yes, he has 6, 315, 438, 671. So he's awesome. I don't think he's going to get the 5 points on Thursday. If he does, I'll eat it that I'm wrong. But I don't think he's going to. And then we're going to jump in and invest at that point. Another guy that is looking really good for a future gold is Jesse Winker. As you can see, the market agrees, 745, 607. And I also have divested in him because when he went bronze, I had so many that I affinitied them, but I want to get back in. And I'm waiting specifically for this week because I got him going to 77, 78. And then when he goes back down in price, when people say, oh, he didn't go gold, I'm out. If his price drops below 500, then I'm jumping in. Now I got some new silvers for you as well. Let's start in Oakland with Robbie Grossman, dude. What is it with these veteran guys that are just popping off in their 30s? Like, hey, look at me, I'm a good player now. It's like, okay, cool, man. 30-year-old, always could take walks. You see the 96 discipline. He's always been good for walks, but nothing else really came together for him. Well, now he's tearing the cover off the ball. I got him going 74 to 75, maybe 76. It doesn't really matter. I got him going into the silver tier. Actually, I do have 76 on my sheet. I don't know how to read. And then I think he is a potential hold for gold here because the stuff that he's doing is legitimate. I don't think this is just some, random hot streak. I think the way he's attacking and getting his pitches to hit and has a strong side platoon job. He doesn't start every day because he doesn't play versus every lefty, but he plays versus righties. And that's basically a full-time job because there's so many more righties than there are lefties. He's got 4 homers, 4 steals, more walks than strikeouts, 292 average, 452 OBP, and a 615 slug. Robbie Grossman is going silver, and he's a hold for gold candidate. Now, I don't know why I backed out. I hate when I do that, but that's okay. Got a few more silvers for you here. Let's start with Randall Grichuk, who is tearing the cover off the ball. I think he hit another 2 on Wednesday. So he's definitely going silver. Now, I don't know with this update being early if they close it on Wednesday or Tuesday. If they close it on Wednesday per usual, then I probably undersold Grichuk. I got him going to a 76. He's probably going 77, 78 if they got those other 2 homers in there. Now, I will say, as far as hold for gold, I'm not as keen on Grichuk because I do think this is just a standard Randall Grichuk hot streak, which we see regularly. I mean, he's hit 24, 22, 25, and 31 homers the last 4 years. And the year before that, he played 103 games and hit 17 homers with his best season ever, a 138 WRC plus. So we've seen hot streaks from him throughout his career. I'm not seeing a major skills change right now. The one thing I am seeing is his walk rate is up from 6% to 9%. That is nice. But other than that, this is more or less Randall Grichuk that we're used to seeing. So I would be careful with gold. I would maybe get a few shares here. As you can see, I've got 5 sellables right now. I might bump that up to like 10 and just kind of see where I'm at, but I'm not going to go crazy here. And I don't think he's going to bypass silver the way Dylan Bundy did and go all the way up to gold. That would really shock me. In fact, until somebody else does that, we need to treat Bundy like a total anomaly. We should not be expecting that from anybody else until they show that they're willing to do it with another player. Let's stay on this ball club and talk about Eliezer Hernandez, who's killing it as well. I got him going up to 76. He just continues to rake. Again, though, as far as gold, I have the same issue where I'm not really seeing a major skills differential that tells me that this hot streak is going to continue. It's a 21-game run. It's not even 100 plate appearances yet. So I think we should enjoy what we've got right now, but I would not go too crazy on my investment. In fact, I've got this. I'm probably just going to hold here and just keep it at seven shares. One thing is we're going to lose him as the bronze god in BR, but he'll become one of the new silver gods. So that's all right. God dang it, I backed out again. We know that he's getting a tops now, but I also think Travis Shaw is going to get an upgrade because he's been killing it. I think he'll go into silver and become a 75. I don't see hold for gold for him, but he should get silver. Next up, we have my boy, the Franimal. I do see some hold for gold potential for him because he is hitting for average right now, which, as you can see, is not his strong suit, particularly against righties. He has a 51 contact, but he's hitting 301, 352, 518. Let me see what he's hitting against righties. And his power is, again, off the charts. He's got 5 homers. Well, not off the charts. His power is strong. Let's say that. I don't want to overstate it. Off the charts is overstating it, but it's been good again, as it always is. Let's see what he's doing against righties, because that's the key to whether or not he can really go gold. Yeah, he's hitting 318 against them. That's massive. So that 55 contact needs to go way up. I think he goes somewhere into the 77, 78 range. And then from there, if he stays hot, I think gold is a strong potential. Another guy who I never would have thought has a potential for gold is Anthony Santander. Holy smokes. And the market, as you can see, is very much in on him already. So the investment opportunity isn't really there. I would wait to see what happens with his price. As you can see, I was already invested. I would wait to see what happens with his price after he goes silver today, which he absolutely should. From 72 to 75. I was hoping that he would get a Topps now, but Topps, so SDS can only make the cards based off of what Topps gives them. So you can go to the Topps Now website and you can see the cards that they have to choose from. They can't just make one for whomever they want. If Topps doesn't make one for that guy, then they don't get one. Austin Hayes was the only guy, and Pat Valaika. Those were the only two Orioles that have been getting them, even though they've had a lot of guys killing it on the Orioles. That said, Santander could get a Diamond Player of the Month card. He won't get the Lightning. That's going to go to Tatis. But he could get a secondary Diamond, and I'd love to see that. He's a switch hitter. He's hitting for power and average. I think his defense is a little bit better than a Bronze. Not great, but I think with a juiced Player of the Month card, an Anthony Santander could be really, really fun to use. And then I've got one more silver here in the form of Dom Smith. Remember when Dom Smith was a big-time prospect, and it was just looking like maybe he's gonna flop because things just really weren't coming together for him. That's why you have to be careful on giving up on prospects too early. I mean, people were giving up on him after 2018 when that was his age 23 season. I know prospects come up younger these days and start killing it at 20, 21, 22, but not everyone hits that quickly. He'd been up for parts of 2 seasons. He had a whopping 332 total plate appearances, and people were giving up on him. This is not a straw man. I'm not making this up. People were out on Dom Smith. Then last year, he gets 197 plate appearances, kills it, goes 282, 355, 525. This year, 73 plate appearances, 311, 397, 738 with 6 homers already. He's killing it again. I think there's actually some gold potential here. The way he's hitting the ball, particularly for batting average, and you factor in that he was hitting last year too, I think that they need to move him up to a decent silver here. I got him just going to 75. That's 3 points. But if they put him at 76, then he's only 4 points away. And if he keeps hitting like this, I think they can give his full profile a nice boost. Let me see what he's doing with his walks and strikeouts. I'll take a drink while I'm doing that. Both are improved from last year. Now the walk rate's only up a little bit from 9.6 to 10.4. That's when you round, that's really only up nothing, but if we're being honest. But the strikeout rate is down a couple points from 22 to 20 to 21 or to 20, excuse me. But the 48 doesn't represent the 22% strikeout rate. That's still stuck on the 27 and 32% rates that he had the 2 years before that. So I think that the vision and discipline need an upgrade to reflect what he's been doing since 2019. So there's a lot of wiggle room here for Dom Smith, and that's why I think if he continues to hit, gold is a strong potential for him. Now I'll get you out of here with a few bronzes. I'm not going to get into any comments today going to bronze because I am coming out late with this, and I just want to get you guys a handful more names here. Let me see. We got him, and there. And we'll cut it there. All right. So next up, we have Tyler O'Neill, who is a major tools prospect. He's got all the raw tools, but he's finally putting them together a bit. As you can see here, he's got a big arm, big speed, some pop. Like, it's obvious the raw tools that he has. MLB is able to show those tools, but you see an 18 vision and mediocre contact, and that kind of describes what he's been. This year, though, he's cut his strikeout rate from 35% down to 21. That's a massive boost. Now he's only hitting 189, so you're like, well, how much of an upgrade can he get? He has a 160 BABIP though, and if you look at his profile and everything that Tyler O'Neill's been doing, he's getting unlucky. Now he is hitting the ball in the air quite a bit, 50%, and hitting the ball in the air is not conducive to batting average, but it is conducive to power. And so you look, he has a 297 ISO because while he only has 7 hits, 2 doubles and 3 homers. So 5 of his 7 hits have gone for power. So even though he's only hitting 189, there is room for an upgrade here. Now I'm only giving him 2 points to 74, but it's setting up something bigger once the singles and doubles start, or once the singles start to fall for him. There's just a little bit of like an optics thing of raising somebody who's hitting sub 200 into a new tier. That's why I think he only goes to 74, but he's a sneaky investment because the skills are there and the big improvement in strikeout rate has me encouraged about Tyler O'Neill. Let's go back out to Baltimore real quick, talk about another guy who's killing it for them. And we saw a tops now from him last year. It was a silver card that crushed lefties for Pedro Severino. Now his whole offensive profile needs some boosting here. I've got him going up to a 73. So a big jump, really setting up a potential silver. He has 5 homers, 338 average, 400 on base, and a 618 slug. Not only is he hitting lefties this year, but he's also hitting righties. He has a 1203 OPS against lefties and a 973 against righties. So there's a lot of room here to grow for Severino. He needs to go to 73, 74, and if he continues to hit this way, we should see him in silver as early as next week. I'm going to put this guy on the upgrade list every damn week until they move him up to where he needs to be. I don't understand why they hate Kyle Lewis. I mean, that's mostly tongue-in-cheek, but like, what does this guy have to do? They're showing that they're being aggressive, and I love the upgrades that they're doing. But Kyle Lewis can't get their love. What does he have to do? What does he have to do? Did he snub you? Did you guys ask him to do something with SDS, and he was like, "No, I don't play video games." I don't know. I'm joking. But his defense is not this bad. I refuse to believe that he's that dreadful defensively. And his offense deserves a big boost. Why is he a 68? I got him going up to 73, which is the same thing I think I had him last week. And I'm going to keep projecting it because he keeps freaking hitting. And his walk rate's up to 12%. His strikeout rate's down to 25 from 39% last year. He's hitting 351, 426, 521. And let's just go look at the fielding. It's a small sample, but let's see what it is. So last year he was -2 on defensive runs saved, and he had a -0.4 on UZR. So it wasn't very good. I will grant that. But I still think it's better than a common. He's at -1 defensive runs saved this year. Like, he's not a great fielder. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's some superstar defender. But if you go to his Fangraphs page, at the very top you can see his prospect report. We gave him a 60 throw. For those that don't understand the 20/80 scale, it's how they grade prospects. And anything at 50 is average. So 60 is an above average arm. Like, that's a really good arm. It's certainly a hell of a lot better than a 36. It's probably worth having somewhere in the low 70s, I would say. Because they say average is like 65 to 70 in the game. So then if we gave him a 60 arm, he should have like a 72 to 75 arm here. So come on, SDS. Again, I applaud you for so much of what you've done on the content, but I think Kyle Lewis has consistently been a miss for y'all. Now, I know that he's probably going to get a diamond in the Player of the Month pool. You know, again, he's not going to get Lightning, but he should get one of the secondary diamonds. I think that that's damn near a shoe-in, but that doesn't mean that his live series card shouldn't be upgraded substantially. All right, another guy who is really impressing me and kicked butt just, was it tonight? Was it Wednesday night? Brad Keller has been out of his mind, and so I want to give props to him. He had COVID to start the season, but since coming back, dude is tearing it up. He is not allowed to run, and again, ERA is not the driving force behind upgrades, but when you're performing that well, it is indicative of something more. Yeah, he threw 6 2/3 scoreless against Cincinnati, and that's a solid offense. Now, he's never been a big strikeout guy, but he has boosted his K9 from 6.6 to 7.6, a full strikeout up. So you can get a boost there. His hit rate is down to 4.1. That's amazing. And his BB9 is actually up, which isn't great, from 10% to 12%. That's fine. That's a trade-off that we're willing to take. So they can bump the BB9 down to 50, bump the K9 up to like 63, and the hit 9 should go up to like 75, 76 right now. And I would also move his stamina up. he's one of the few guys who's consistently going deeper into games. Right now, if you go 6 innings consistently, that's going deep into games, because we're seeing so many guys who don't even make it 5. He's got 17 2/3 in his 3 starts. He's basically averaging 6 innings per start. So bump him up to like an 83. Actually, 77 is pretty good if I'm being honest, but I just wanted to get boosted there. And then we have 2 more names. We got Nick Solac, who I actually think has a little bit of hold for gold potential, that by the end of the year, he could be gold. Now, again, this is a long-term one, so don't get mad at me if he doesn't have gold next week. Let's get him to silver before we start freaking out. But I do think that his profile is conducive to it. He's hitting 289, 379, 387. Now that power is a little light, so to really get gold, the power would have to turn up without a doubt. So monitor that. I think he's going to get silver relatively soon if he continues to hit the way we've seen over the last week or so. He has a 16% strikeout rate and a 13% walk rate. So the vision and discipline definitely need to go up. He's hitting 280. The contact rate definitely needs to go up. The power, they can keep it right there right now and make him prove it. But if he starts to get the doubles, triples, and homers, I mean, he's not going to hit a ton of triples, but if he starts to hit the doubles and homers, I think the power needs to go up. He had a 198 ISO last year with 5 homers, 6 doubles, and a triple in 135 plate appearances. He only has 1 homer this year, so that's fine. Leave the power where it's at, make him prove it, but if he starts to hit for the power the way he did last year, he should be a silver very soon, and then gold has the potential to come through. And then the last guy I'm going to give you, actually, I got 2 here. I'm going to choose between one, so I'm going to look up both of them real quick. Is it going to be him? I just want to see who has the higher upside overall. Him or this guy? You know what? You guys deserve both. I'm giving you this late. I'm giving you both. Let's start with Eliezer Hernandez for the Marlins. I told y'all coming in that the Marlins could be a little bit of a sneaky team because they already have some good pitching and they're going to add some hitting this year. The hitting hasn't been as good as I expected. Jesus Aguilar's been really good, but I thought Jonathan VR would be a big piece for them. He hasn't been. Isan Diaz opted out. He's somebody I thought was going to be good. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They're pitching really well. Pablo Lopez, Eliezer Hernandez, they've been awesome. Eliezer Hernandez has a 33% strikeout rate. To put that in K9 terms, he's at 11.7. That's huge. And he was at 9.3 last year. So the K9 should already be up based on last year, let alone what he's done this year. He's cut his hit rate down from 8.3 to 5.5. That needs a big boost. And he's cut his walk rate in half. And it was already good at 7%. Now it's down to 3.5%. And again, to put that in BB9, that's 2.8 to 1.3. So there's a lot of upgrades there. And just for good measure, he did allow a butt ton of homers last year, 2.2 per 9. 0.6 this year. So even the homer 9 needs to go up. Big sweeping adjustments need to come for Eliezer Hernandez. I got him going up to a 73. He could go up to 74, 75 tomorrow, and then that would set up a potential hold for gold. If he keeps pitching like this, he'll have gold in a couple weeks. And then the other one is Chad Kuhl for Pittsburgh. Dude has nasty stuff, and to SDS's credit, his card already reflects that. If you look, 98 velo, 84 break, you can see the velocity there. He's got 5 pitches. He's actually kind of a sneak tip BR guy. I don't know if I've used him. 1 inning. See, told you he's awesome. 0 ERA. But no, there's a lot of upgrades to be done here for Chad Kuhl. First off, the strikeout rate definitely needs to go up. He's at 33% this year, 11.6, similar to Eliezer Hernandez. He's cut his hit rate down from 9.4 to 6.4. The walk rate from 9% to 7%. So you don't need to boost the walk rate quite as much, but the other two need to go way up. And the homer 9 is actually bad. It's from 1.5 to 1.9. So that can either stay at 62 or even come down a little bit. I would understand that. But they shouldn't overreact to homer 9s too much early on, because one bad home run game can really do a lot of damage. In fact, Up until his last start, Chad Kuhl had given up 1 homer in 3 starts, but then he gave up 2 to Cincinnati, and all of a sudden his home run rate jumped up to 1.9. So they should probably just leave that right now and kind of see where he's at. But I think he should be silver pretty soon. Maybe not this week because he only has 14 innings. We don't want to overrate 14 innings, but another 2 good starts should really push him into silver. And then again, we start to look at that hold for gold potential for Chad Kuhl. So there it is, y'all. I know that the goals are pretty obvious this week. That's just the way they happen to be. I'm going to be out for the weekend. I'm going to my mom's house to help her get moved and everything. We got a lot of work to do down there. So Friday, Saturday, I'm not going to be available, and Sunday I'm coming back. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that video that I owe you of all the people that you should be holding on to for gold. Let's call it early next week. Let's say it's going to be out by Tuesday. You can hold me to that, and hopefully we get some big investments here, because there's a lot of ability to invest in the market and really turn your bankroll into something substantial. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, come out to Twitch, twitch.tv/Spore. We're going to be reviewing the roster update when it comes out at 2 p.m. Central on Thursday, the 20th. Thank you so much for watching.